I'm done.
Wait,
I'm
what? Already?
I'm done with 2023. This year, hard reset. Wrap me in some bubble wrap. Put me in a room, and just come
Hold
get
on.
me January 1st, 2024.
Is that how it works? Because I have a feeling there's still a lot more to the year. It could get better.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Look, Stephanie and I were thinking about going on a cruise later this year to kind of make things
Yeah,
better.
of course.
But with the luck we've been having, I'm pretty sure that cruise would sink.
Wait, would think?
Stop making fun of me, guys. Okay.
Did you bite Abby Hornacek's head again or something? What's going on, man?
No. Her spirit harnessed All-Star Weekend and came for the rest of my teeth.
Also, yes, please.
This weekend, guys, I mangled my face pretty bad. I've got some black eyes, a chipped tooth, and you'll hear my inflection change a bit throughout the show, depending on how swollen my tongue is.
So you did tell us that there was an accident today, and
Yeah.
it was, day of recording, and I'm like, do you need to back out? Like, this seems like it may be a deal.
No.
And you're like, no, I'll be there. And I'm like, hey, look, this isn't something where we're going to force you to record, right? We're here for the fun, and, well, to make fun, maybe.
Of me today, yes.
But you've been making us wait for what actually happened.
The worst weekend of the last, I can't say my life, because,
2 weeks. Let's say, Spencer, the worst weekend for the last 2 weeks for you.
My worst weekend
Can we
of
say that?
February.
Sure.
Okay.
So let me start off with the weekend. I knew it was going to be bad because I went and saw Ant-Man, and we'll talk about this later. That kind of set the tone for my weekend.
Well played. Yeah.
It goes downhill from there?
Surprisingly, yeah. So
Sure.
I'm going to just walk you through the whole weekend because I've had some
Okay.
weird experiences, and then it capped off with, So
Okay.
Stephanie and I decided we needed a little break, a little R&R, get away from things,
Well deserved.
clear our mind. So we went up to the family farm, her family's farm.
Nice.
While we were up there, my mother-in-law, I love her to death. She is one of the most innocent people I know. She was telling us about how she has a fetish for baby feet and shoes.
A fetish?
Wait, don't say fetish. Don't say fetish.
A fetish.
Does she know what the word fetish means?
Do you know what fetish means?
Do I?
Okay.
Yes, very much so.
No, to Spencer, because I feel
Oh.
like you shouldn't be saying this about your mother-in-law.
You two had... No, that was an exact quote from my mother-in-law. She has a fetish for baby feet and shoes. And your response was the exact response that Stephanie and I had. Do you know what a fetish means?
Yeah.
Do you know what you are saying right now? So we had to have a wonderfully awkward conversation, explaining to my dear mother-in-law what it means to say you have a foot fetish.
A baby foot fetish.
You just don't admit it. You keep it inside.
Then
Trust
let
me,
us
I know.
To explaining to her why the farm, which has an interesting name, their signage gets vandalized by local high schoolers and local youths from time to time.
I'm loving this so much. Keep going, Spencer.
The name of the farm, when they settled the valley of Treasurton, Winder, Idaho, they did not have much money left over for a brand, so they bought one brand. They bought a number 6, and they figured they could just use the 6, flip it, and use the 6 again, and now it's a 9. So that's 69 farms.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It is not. First of all, nice.
Yes.
Second of all,
That's the tagline.
Hey, Kent, why do you think we want you to go get your hand sucked by a cow?
oh my gosh, I feel so awkward about this right now.
You can get some nice fresh milk as you do.
I don't know. I'm still confused. Wait. So they're super naive, just sweet people, right?
Oh, yeah, because after we explained, well, you know why the sign gets vandalized from time to time. No, why is it? And we had to then explain what 69 and 420 meant. So
You bundled
that
420 into that one?
Yeah, you're like, speaking of dirty numbers, let's go for the...
It's because my wife is a math teacher, and she said, yeah, I have to avoid putting the word or the number 69
Yeah.
and 420 into my problems. Like I can't have it as part of the problem or the solution.
Sure.
And
Generally, they are problems. Yes.
yeah. So then we had to explain what 420 was because she then asked what 420 meant, which wasn't as bad
Wow.
as explaining 69.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Wait, so are they going to keep the name?
Oh, they've had it for decades. That's not changing anytime soon.
So they're okay. They're like, we're going to get
Yeah.
flack for this.
Yeah,
People
they know.
will harass us.
They know.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
In fact, they're now more proud, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's changing her ways with the fetish verbiage, though, I'm assuming.
oh, yes, 100%. That is, I don't think that's ever been okay to say. Like, ever. Say what you want about language changing. No, that phrase, that's been banned since the time of, like, the monks and dinosaurs. Like, even dinosaurs
I don't know.
couldn't say it.
I'm now going to use the term fetish for anything I like, even if I kind of like it. Where, for example, right now I'm sipping on a Xanadu, a Diet Xanadu from Fizz. I have a fetish for Diet Xanadu.
And I'm drinking Costa Vida lemonade. Costa Vida lemonade, man. I definitely have a fetish for this stuff.
See, I don't like the fact that you have a fetish for lemonade. Like, that feels like it could get pretty dark pretty quick.
Freshly squeezed.
Okay. I got to keep going, though, guys. Because that was my Sunday. So Saturday, Ant-Man. It picks up a little bit. We have an awkward, funny conversation with my mother-in-law. We have to then sleep on that. Trust me.
What's funny is your conversation with your mother-in-law had more humor than Ant-Man. But anyways, go ahead.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you try sleeping after having a conversation like that with your mother-in-law.
Sure, of course.
Right? Well, the next day we had planned a day of snowmobiling and fun. My brother-in-law, or not my brother-in-law, he's not my brother-in-law, he's my actual brother. My brother Taylor came up from Logan.
You forgot. It's been a day.
I'm not going to edit that out.
I'm mildly concussed. Okay? Just
Sure.
mildly.
Thanks for being here.
Possible slight broken nose. I don't know. I haven't been to a doctor.
Oh, okay. Keep going. I can't wait. I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't wait.
Day of snowmobiling plan. Brother comes up from Logan, and I'm sure a lot of people can see where this is going. The day went beautifully. We got the snowmobile started. We rode the hills. They've got, tons of acreage where no crops during the winter. So what do? You ride the snowmobile over it.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So the day went off without a hitch. I get my boots off. I kick back. I go inside, have another awkward conversation with my mother-in-law. We'll save that for another day. And then as we are packing up to leave, my father-in-law says, "Hey, you and Taylor should go for one more ride." 10 more
No.
minutes.
Never one more ride.
Those are always the cursed rides.
Yeah.
Never.
I'm
never.
one day till retirement.
Right? So, like, not even 5 minutes into our ride, Taylor and I are pretty comfortable on the machines by now. We open them up and we're going. Now, here's the thing about the snow today. There was, about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet of snow. But the clouds were overcast. So it was a complete whiteout. We could not see where the hills began or where they ended or where the valleys were. Like, it just looked like a white sheet of paper in front of you.
Okay.
So we're going pretty fast, but I'm trying to be cautious. I got my butt up off the seat, so I bounce.
Sure.
I got my natural shocks going.
Nice. I'm picturing this. Okay. I like this.
I think I hit a rock. Either that.
Like a big rock, obviously.
Like a big rock. Either that
Or a cow?
Probably more likely. No, those have black spots. I would have seen those. Okay, come on.
Okay.
Black contrast against white. Either that, and this is probably more likely, actually. I didn't see the hill in front of me, and I did not position my body right because the front of the snowmobile came up at about 30 miles per hour, and I don't remember what happened next. I was about 30 feet behind my snowmobile, and my brother comes up and he's like, "Hey, you're bleeding." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I think I hit my nose a bit." Nope.
Oh, no.
I bit through my tongue, and I do have a black eye. Like, you can see, I'll point out to you guys, and for the listeners, I'll describe it. But you can see exactly where my sunglasses were because the two little eyelets, the padding that's supposed to soften the blow, those dug right into the bridge of my nose. And yeah, Yeah.
So you probably got hit square in the face.
Oh, no doubt.
Because if it's hitting your sunglasses that way, and I don't know how your teeth came down, obviously, because you're cutting through the side. You kind of have a side part on your tongue now.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that?
Liar,
Yeah, like we were kind of kidding around, like you're probably like a lizard. It's not down the middle.
No, it's down the side, unfortunately. So like,
this makes me feel so nauseous right now.
I know, right?
So that rules out like drinking orange juice. Washing your mouth out with like mouthwash.
Josh,
no vinegar.
Just got my taste back from COVID.
Gosh.
Sour Patch Kids.
Anything salty, like liquid diet for the next little bit until this heals up.
Well, wait, so how does it heal up? Because it's split.
I don't know.
Wait, did you go to the doctor, Spencer?
No, he was on a farm, so
actually,
your mother-in-law probably gave you some like remedies, right?
Listen, I've seen Yellowstone. They have vets there that could stitch you up, right? Like,
Yes.
did you go to Instacare or anything? Because you don't just let your tongue, unless like you're like, hey, I'm pretty skilled with my tongue, You don't want it to have ridges or weird sort of whatever's going on.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter anymore because he is married, so whatever.
Josh.
Wait, no, but for real, does it just heal on its own?
The name of the farm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Back on track.
Back on track. No, so I do get back on not the four-wheeler, again, concussed, slightly concussed.
Yeah.
Maybe a broken nose. And I yelled
Spencer,
to Taylor,
go to the doctor.
I yelled to Taylor, hey, I'm going to head back to the house. I think I'm good, even though like I'm spitting up massive amounts of blood.
Oh my gosh.
And I pull around, and my mother-in-law is out front with Stephanie. So I'm like, okay, she's gonna freak when she sees this. My mother-in-law, not Stephanie.
Yeah.
So I'm doing some. I am informed they're not donuts. I was carving with the snowmobile a little bit until my mother-in-law went inside, so I could pull up and be like, hey, Stephanie, spit out some blood. I think I'm hurt. No. And like we took a look at things, and we're like, well, there's not much we can do. We're about an hour away from like emergency medical services.
That's not that far.
And
do it.
I consult Dr. Google, and
you have cancer all now. Yeah.
There's not much you can do for tongue cancer, so I actually have an appointment with the dentist ironically tomorrow. So I'm going to get all that looked at and sorted out.
Okay. Because you do have a chipped tooth.
I do have a chipped tooth.
He probably has some experience with oral surgery, or at least someone to recommend you to.
Or, somebody bit their tongue while at his office. I don't know. Anyway.
Could you describe right now what your tongue looks like to everybody? I mean, I know we talked about it being split.
And don't show us again.
That picture's saved in our phones. Like, that's good.
Because I didn't go all the way through the tongue. Most of the way through the tongue. Like, it's mostly dead. But not all the way dead.
You got to the good and plenty bits, right? You cut through the outer layer, and you can see the inner purple parts, right? Is that too descriptive?
No, I'm like a third of the way through, maybe.
Josh is feeling so sick right now.
No, thank you.
But Dr. Google said, look, unless you bite all the way through the tongue, like you pierce it, you can't, like there's no stitches, so you just kind of deal with it for a week or two. So
stitches.
Hey,
Snowmobile got your tongue? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? I'm sorry. I hate that for the first 10 minutes, Josh and I listened to you say all your S's, and we giggled and looked at each other.
I know.
And we were like, this is not nice. It's not very nice to make fun of this.
You were just saying what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Which I think may have to be a shirt now, by the way, for the other store. Shameless plug.
Yeah, 20% off right now.
I wish I could say that was the end of the story. Right?
Wait, it gets worse?
What?
Oh. So, about 20 minutes after my concussed butt is sitting in the rocker, my little brother comes in. Luckily, he's good. He tore his ACL skiing, not this time.
Okay.
But he's kind of got a burned hole in his butt.
What?
Brand new jacket.
Wait,
yeah, like a burned, like melted jacket around his butt.
Like the snowmobile did this.
Yes.
Okay.
He had the opposite problem I did, where I fell off the back of the snowmobile. He went over the hood and onto the motor engine, which is really, really hot.
Jeez.
Oh.
So, we consider lucky he didn't end up like me, but he did bruise his shin and maybe aggravate his ACL.
Can I just make a suggestion here?
To go on.
I don't think any Myers should ever snowmobile, ever.
Well, they were good for 90% of the time. It was that one last ride that got him, I think.
Never say one more.
But it does seem like you guys were... I don't know if the universe had it out for your family or what's going on, but that's pretty unlucky.
Look, I'm just saying maybe God doesn't want any Myers on motored vehicles because, Josh, you remember when we tried to watch a basketball game and I had to rush off because my dad he fell down a ravine on a four-wheeler?
Yes.
Oh, no.
So no. Like, just stick to cars. Stick to cars.
I don't know if that's a good idea because remember how I met Stephanie, right?
That's right. Actually, you should just walk.
Save that for another day. But speaking of cars, I decided the prudential? No, that's insurance.
I don't even know what you're saying because of the speech impediment, so proceed.
You can say prudent without a lisp, Josh. It's not like everything's affected.
Okay, maybe I just don't have a very big vocabulary.
The prudent move was for me not to drive home. I'm possibly concussed.
Yeah.
I'll let Stephanie drive home. The problem is, I never am the passenger. Like, Josh knows this. I get really bad car sickness.
Yes, he does.
If I'm ever the passenger.
If you're ever the passenger, so if we went on a little road trip, you would have to drive, or else you'd get sick. Is that what you're saying?
Or take some like Dramamine or I don't know, some narcotics.
He gets very anxious, and part of that is probably some
the anxious
PTSD.
part was your driving.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad.
I've been in the car with Kent, and Kent can back me up. Like, I'm not anxious with him in the car. I did get sick, but that was not your fault.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad. But no, you had some like PTSD from your car accident that you had. About 3 or 4 years ago?
About 4 years ago, yeah. It had some repercussions from that. But
okay, so you were not driving on the way back from the 69 ranch.
And I was going to say, with you two, we were always on I-15, so pretty much a straight shot.
Yeah,
with Stephanie driving, though, we had to make our way out of Preston, so on some windy dirt roads to get out from the farm, and then through Sardine Canyon. I was extremely car sick when I got home, like to the point where I don't know if it's the concussion speaking or the car sickness, but I think I'm gonna vomit. We walk in the house and Juno had left 2 presents right on the bed for me.
Oh boy.
Your weekend is awesome. Oh my gosh.
I immediately went into the restroom and I just emptied my empty stomach because I haven't eaten anything. I only ate dinner and my tongue won't let me eat right now. So, yeah. That brings us to now. How are you guys doing?
Then it's like, we're like, hey, Spencer, could you hurry up? We're about to record. Get on there.
What's taking you so long?
I wanted to brush my teeth and stupidly use some mouthwash.
No. Oh,
I just want to feel something.
So now that you're in a safe house, like you can't leave for a few days. That's obvious. Right? I mean, we can hope that the new week brings good luck. Right? Please bless. But we don't know.
Hashtag please bless.
Hashtag please bless.
No.
There's the title of the show.
We're probably going to stay in the house for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Except for the dentist tomorrow. Yeah.
Hopefully nothing happens there. But Stephanie and I really do want to go on a vacation. Not a cruise because it might sink on us. So
it might think on you, Spencer.
Think on you. Actually, we still might risk the cruise.
Sorry.
At this point, bring us home. Just bring us home. But I'd love to have the listeners call into Josh and give me some vacation recommendations.
Okay, because you are like you've had, let's be honest, a hell of a year so far, and you're looking for what? Something tropical, something European. Like, what are you inclined, or do you just want good recommendations regardless?
I just want good recommendations.
Hey,
like me and Stephanie.
I'm going to Vegas this weekend. I'm going to Vegas. Do you want to go to Vegas with me?
I'd rather light my farts on fire and roll around in some poo.
What? Okay, I don't know why you saying that and me in my head going, I want to come. Why would you say that, Spencer? Because that sounds kind of fun. Do you hate Vegas?
No, I have no problems with Vegas. I don't want to go to Vegas when I'm on a liquid diet.
True. Yeah. Just take your blender with you to a buffet.
Listen,
no, my buddy, my really good buddy from Rexburg, Casey, just moved down to Vegas, and like we're sending each other all these like hole in the wall and little known Vegas places to eat. Like, who goes to Vegas and just goes to the buffets? Like, you got world class eating.
Yeah.
I sent him one today that's like, it is legit like Costa Vida or Cafe Rio for Utahns here, but it's Hawaiian food.
Okay.
Oh, which one is that?
Like, I'm all in.
Yeah, Josh is like, I'm going.
I'll send you my list.
Okay, you'll have to send me a list because I am definitely looking for recommendations.
Josh, why are you going to Vegas?
I'm going down there with Coach Blue, with some of the Rebel 1 guys as well, and we're actually going down to run the Rock and Roll Las Vegas race. So I'm doing the 10K.
Nice.
A few other people are doing 5Ks, half marathons. So it's just I did this last year, signed up, didn't know I was going to be taking my wife down there this go around. This is actually her first time in Vegas.
Really?
Which really surprised me. Like she's driven through Vegas to go to Disneyland, but she's never stopped to go on the Strip or anything. So I get to kind of introduce her to Vegas and everything that kind of entails that. So it's kind of excited for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so Josh, I have 2 assignments for you to go find these places. The first is Maki Pacific Grill.
Okay.
Apparently they have a few locations, and then that's the Hawaiian. You can compare it to Kauai. You just went there, like your Hawaiian.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Wow, yeah. Get their shaved ice. I don't know if they have shaved ice. But the other one.
Can you say that again? What was that? Shaved what?
Shaved ice. Okay, shut up.
So mean.
The next one is a Mexican-Italian fusion place. It's called Il Toro y la Capra. The bull and the goat. And they have Mexican pizza, but not like Godfather's Mexican pizza or whatever they sell at
where they just dump Maverick. Like salsa on it or whatever. Yeah. No,
this is like some legit like pizza-beria. You know?
No, that actually sounds really good because I've always felt that Italian and Mexican food like really blend well together. Yeah. Because I've made like Mexican lasagna, Italian tacos before. So I'm gonna look that up because
they've
that
got
sounds
like shrimp
amazing.
Scampi over rice or noodles and stuff like that, or rice instead of noodles. They have carne asada on a pasta dish. That's a hard one to say with no tongue. Pasta. Pasta dish. Also, have you ever realized how much of your tongue you use to say the word tongue?
Tongue.
Like, I know all the listeners are saying this now. Like,
Tongue. Oh, yeah. Tongue.
Just a little bit.
Anyway. I'll send you these to Josh.
So weird. That's more of the concussion speaking than anything.
Yeah, I think so too. Wait, so Spencer, you would like to know from the audience where they would recommend, and are we talking, is there a price limit to this? Are you taking your daughter? Like, is it just the two of you?
I mean, that entirely depends. Like, if it's in August that we go, our anniversary is August 2nd. So it'd be just like Stephanie and I, but more likely we'd be taking Hazel. Like, we have legit looked at Disney cruises. Oh my gosh, that hurts.
I know. Stop it. Don't hurt yourself for the show. Okay. So you take a little break. I'm going to make Josh speak up a bit because Josh, you had a weekend that was slightly better than Spencer's.
Yeah, it was just a little slightly better. And honestly, I invited you probably 2 or 3 times. You should have just taken the invitation.
I should have.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
should've.
both of you guys should have. So I did the All-Star Game stuff this weekend.
Yeah.
This past weekend, the NBA All-Star Game. I mean, if you're in Utah, you know what happened. It was all over the place. Essentially, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was off doing something with the All-Star Game weekend, and
yeah,
it. I don't know. I don't know how to think about it. I had a lot of fun. I hung out with some fun people. I did most of the stuff with my little brother Luke, the other brother.
Cool. Yeah.
Also was able to meet up with a few listeners, including Brandon, right before we did the rookie game over in over at the Delta Center, and just it was fun. It's a different energy. It was really kind of fun. I think it's always fun when downtown Salt Lake starts closing some roads and
wait, is that fun? Because
not for drivers.
Yeah, that's what scared me off of coming. Is I'm like, because I'm pretty cheap and I will walk 2 miles to save $10 on parking, right?
Well, and I'm that same way.
Yeah,
I was going to take public transit into downtown, which they were encouraging everybody to do.
Okay.
I actually did drive in with my brother and with Brandon on those 2 days, just because of how things worked out. But parking downtown, even a couple blocks away from the Delta Center, it was $40.
Wow,
$40. And,
that's nuts.
The only time I've ever seen that for parking, I don't think I've ever seen that price for parking in Salt Lake. It's pretty standard for like NFL stadiums and big one-time events.
Yeah.
But not here in Utah. But I'm not surprised, considering it's the All-Star Game and everything. But it was kind of fun to walk around just because it was a different energy. But at the same time, I don't know, like it just, I don't know, maybe it felt different because I was kind of drawn toward the events because of nostalgia. Because I was
current interest in the NBA.
No, I was 12 years old when the All-Star Game was here back in '93. It was a lot of fun. I was that perfect age, and the NBA really has just in the past 30 years has changed tremendously.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say necessarily whether that's good or bad. It's the NBA. It follows the dollar signs, right?
Yeah.
It's gotten bigger, more complex. These weekends, there's so much more that goes into it. And it just, I don't know, it just was very underwhelming in certain things because they had the jam session.
Yeah.
So, there was the jam session that they had. And I didn't know this until Saturday because I kind of stumbled into this discussion that Ryan Smith, the owner of the Jazz, had with Gary Vee. I don't know how many of you know Gary Vee, a very well-known podcaster, one of my favorite podcasters out there, just very, very much a New Yorker. If I'm giving kind of some cliff notes, but very real, very personable. So they did a discussion between the two of them to kind of talk about, whatever in the All-Star Game weekend and everything, but the NBA was not planning on having the NBA Jam session or the crossover, whatever they were calling it. But it was Ryan Smith who actually was encouraging it because of the jam session that they had back in '93. And
oh, wow. Okay.
Honestly, you could kind of tell that it was an afterthought. It was nothing like it was back in '93 when I was a kid.
How so?
A lot less stations, more shooting areas that were just overcrowded, and then just vendor booths.
And what were the vendor booths like?
Just selling their product. They had some cool stuff.
Like what kind of products?
Merch, shooting drills. Like a lot of them were just like Starry, the new stupid soda from Pepsi.
Yeah. Which I hate Starry so much. Yeah.
Oh, I know. They were giving those cans away everywhere. And every time I'm like, nope.
Because it tastes just like Sprite.
No, it does.
Like there's no difference between that and
Can
Sprite.
I just say also that those ads are so annoying. The Starry ads I swear they're just lemon and lime M&Ms. That's essentially what the mascots are. I don't know if you've seen the ads.
I haven't seen the commercials. No.
Go watch the commercials and you're like, okay, yeah, they're trying to be like the M&Ms.
Okay.
It's the stupidest thing. Anyway,
I don't think I will.
Good call, Spencer.
I didn't feel like I had a place in the jam session, and for $40 to walk around and essentially, is it worth standing in line to shoot a couple of hoops?
No.
But it was worth it sitting in that panel discussion with Gary V and Ryan Smith.
That's cool.
Which I actually did end up recording and putting that up on Rebel One on their YouTube channel. So,
Josh,
that's about it.
I don't think you realize it, but he just described 99% of corporate conventions.
No, that's what it was.
Was it worth the price to walk around and wait in lines?
Well, and that's what I'm wondering was this a convention for 12-year-olds now who are so into the NBA and they want to be like these players? Or did it just really feel like an afterthought that there was like, Utah, you like basketball, maybe not the Jazz so much this year. Try to come for free stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it did, because even the jam session corner that they had in the Salt Palace, where it was geared more toward kids, it had nothing. Like when I did the jam session in '93, I mean, they had interactive stations, right, where you could stand up, like you could stand between these cardboard cutouts of Muggsy Bogues, the shortest player in the NBA, and Manute Bol, the tallest player, right? And then you could shoot hoops, and you could also call like segments of games, like you were an announcer. Just these really cool kind of interactive things, but essentially they just put up a whole bunch of basketball hoops, and hey, you can play 21 or just shoot these hoops and take some photo ops, and it just
were there old pros there at vendor booths at all?
They had an autograph booth, which when I was there, that was the longest line. They had I think Jordan Clarkson there when we were walking through. I didn't see any other celebrities. I saw a bunch of like 7-footers there that I had no idea who they were. They all looked like they were probably in college. And there were a lot. It was funny because a lot of people there would like stop them, like, so who do you play for? Can I have your picture?
And they're like, I'm just black and tall and in Utah. It's fine.
Yep.
Actually, fun fact, Kent, most of those ones are white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so it's just funny, and plus, I have like the worst. I'm like the worst person when it comes to like celebrity sightings. Like, it's the gift that my mother gave me. We owned a baseball card shop back in the day, and we would have Jazz players come in, and even out of town NBA players that would come in. And
really.
Yeah, like
to the 5 Points Mall.
Well, we had a couple of other locations.
Okay, good.
We had like one in Salt Lake, and we had Provo and that. But my mom would have no idea who they were. We had Dikembe Mutombo come in one time, and she had no idea. And he was asking her, in Dikembe Mutombo's voice, right? Which I'm sure that my mother had no idea what he was saying,
Josh,
because nobody else does.
What's really ironic about that is your mom, when he asked, "Do you know who I am?" She said, "No."
No. Wagged the finger.
That's actually where he got that tagline. So
from that lady in Utah.
You can cut that joke.
Probably. No, I don't think so. That's the concussion right there.
So if you saw someone in person, a celebrity basketball player, which you probably know less than normal celebrities anyways, because like who knows these days?
And we've talked a little bit about this, but when it comes to like trivia, especially in sports trivia, I'm somewhat of a weird kind of savant to it. And so like I know names, I know stats, true. I know history and things like that, but get me in a room full of NBA players, and odds are I probably won't know who they are. Of course I'm going to recognize Magic Johnson and Jordan in that, but
Thurl Bailey.
Yeah.
Though, here's the problem with recognizing like celebrities these days is anyone can claim to be a celebrity. Like, you have a couple thousand or, a couple hundred followers you bought on Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
Sure.
And you're like, yeah, I'm a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, people know me.
So, I mean, there's the weekend, but I think the biggest splash, besides the game, which is really just kind of a practice huddle, essentially, right? No one's really taken all that seriously. But and like there were cool things like the slam dunk contest and everything, but I think the biggest buzz from the weekend was what Charles Barkley said.
Oh yeah, no, well, it's Barkley and Shaq. So this came out. This was like the post game of the All-Star game, and Barkley and Shaq were they were recapping this whole weekend, right?
Yeah,
and essentially Barkley and Shaq just point blank said how boring Utah was. And
oh, come on.
Well, no, I could probably quote them, but who has the time to quote specifics? But essentially, they said that all these people are going to heaven anyway. So
yeah, they said they're going to heaven, and they should, because this is such a boring place, and they live here.
Boring a town.
Yes. No smoking, no drinking, all that. Yes.
I think, especially like celebrities from the NBA more so, because they're the bigger celebrities that come to Utah. They have this expectation that they're going to come to Utah and it's going to be boring. So they land, they go to their hotel room, they stay in their hotel room, drink themselves silly while they're there, and then leave and complain about how boring it is without stepping foot outside to actually see what Utah has to offer.
Right.
Yeah. No, and I think that's kind of what happened because probably early, so we're recording this on Monday. So Monday morning, there was an article that came out that Shaq pretty much called Barkley out for being drunk.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So this is, really? I think this is essentially where a lot of these comments are coming with Barkley.
Like it was an intrusive thought, right? And he just couldn't stop himself from trying to be funny.
No, and
I mean that's Shaq.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, it was Barkley. Yeah.
Well, Barkley, but Shaq. I mean, I think Shaq was definitely complicit in that because he laughed and went along with it. Right. But thinking about that, like the knee jerk reaction to this is kind of, you kind of want to like shake your fist and say, how dare you, like say this about my hometown and my home state, right?
I mean, I just reacted that way.
Well, but see, at the same time, like when I was walking around in downtown Salt Lake, not only did we go to the Salt Palace, to the arena, but we went over to the Gateway, which I hadn't been to in probably over 20 years. But
right. No one else has either.
No. And it just, honestly, it wasn't my crowd, right? And so I almost feel like it was almost kind of this mutual feeling of, yeah, we're probably not going to be hanging out for a while.
Sure.
Or, the All-Star Game's probably not going to be coming back.
I'll play devil's advocate here because, we can get angry and be like, Salt Lake's great, right? But, this has long been the reputation that no players ever wanted to come here. I remember when they were talking about bringing Rodman here back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously he's such a, let's be honest, a Las Vegas sort of guy as far as behavior goes. Salt Lake doesn't offer much, right? Like even and I'm trying to imagine what they want that other cities have, right? Like, is it nightclubs? Is it bars open all night?
Right? It must be northern exposure.
Yeah, we already talked in the last show about a few exposures.
We gave you things to do.
and I'm wondering, like, is it the alcohol level, right? Because we do have lower alcohol levels and more stringent rules. And I'm kind of like, okay, if it's just a nightlife, then I get it. If that's really your focus, sure. Right? Is it so many white people? Okay, I get it. Right? But I don't know. I can see both sides. Part of me is like, and I think a lot of people are kind of biting back, honestly saying, you're right. It's so boring here. Please never move here. Please. Let's just keep people out of Utah so that home values stay, they're not low, but as low as they possibly can.
Well, and it's definitely a different vibe. I mean, Salt Lake has a different vibe than any of the warmer cities.
Sure.
especially LA, Vegas,
Yeah.
Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, whatever, Miami, of course. So there's definitely a different vibe here.
You're right. There is less homeless people.
Is there?
Good call. Good call. I mean, last time I was in LA, maybe comparable with Salt Lake. I don't know.
It just was a different vibe all weekend.
Okay.
And
did it seem like Salt Lake was trying too hard to accommodate to everyone that was coming to visit?
I don't know if it was trying too hard, because I feel like Salt Lake was pretty accommodating.
Okay.
They had a pop-up liquor store in downtown.
Sure.
Josh, would you say, instead of Salt Lake trying to be too accommodating, were people looking for reasons to say it was unwelcoming or boring? Looking for reasons to be offended.
What accommodations I think were made were definitely, I mean, not like in LA or wherever else, you'd be doing these big events.
Sure.
It's almost like a two-step kind of thing. Like, you step out of the arena and you go right into another party, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas I feel like we were accommodating enough, but yeah, there was probably instead of like 2 steps into a different party, it was like, 5 or 6 steps.
I get that
over here,
well,
right?
And you think about it, and it's like, what is Utah known for? Probably with northern Utah, the winter recreation. For southern Utah, it is hiking.
Yeah, I can speak for that.
Yeah, so, and if you're in the NBA, you are, by insurance, not allowed to take part in skiing or snowboarding, right? And so you're missing out on that. Like, for example, in my circles, yes, it's still very elitist and, maybe doesn't belong either, but like the Sundance Film Festival. Celebrities really enjoy coming to Utah because it's long been a tradition, and you go skiing, and that's just how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Because they're coming for the snow. I could see players in the NBA being like, hey, really loyal fans, but I don't get to go to the bar I want past 1 a.m. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a lot of things, and
listen,
this could open up a whole other discussion, especially with the strategy that the Jazz have, right?
Yeah,
because...
and maybe we're introverts. Maybe we're just like, since especially the pandemic, we're like, what are you talking about going out? Like, get a family and stay inside.
Yeah,
I'll buy you a PS5. It's freaking awesome.
No, that's true. I mean, how many times have the three of us said, "Hey, let's do dinner this
week"? Yeah, right.
No, but
weekly.
It was a fun weekend in the sense that I was able to spend some great time with my brother, with my niece, with Brandon, with friends. And then just walking around and feeling the energy of big events is something that I love. So, that was worth it. But, I still kind of feel like it was kind of this mutual feeling of like, this isn't my kind of thing.
Okay.
And it was obviously the same thing, in at least Barkley's eyes.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay. It was definitely a lot better than Spencer's weekend.
I mean, look, it was.
That's not hard.
And going back to it, like, yeah, sure, right here, maybe there's not immediate stuff to do unless you have Lagoon Pass or Cherry Hill or whatever. But Vegas is that close. You're going this weekend. Utahns make up a huge part of Disneyland.
Yeah,
because it's accessible.
Yeah, it's a road trip away.
Right.
So no, it was fun, but.
Do you want to go in 30 years? Yeah.
Yeah, Spencer.
Yeah, let's go get in 30 years.
Spencer, not to go back on your horrible weekend, but I kind of want to hear what you thought about with Ant-Man.
Yeah, Spencer.
Let's revisit.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the short review first. Because that was probably the worst part of my weekend.
Yeah, stop it right now. Oh, you sliced through to the purple part of your tongue. And Ant-Man Quantumania, which, by the way, has the same visuals as the purple part of your tongue.
Hey, I actually, you made me think of this.
Yeah.
A perfect description for what my tongue looks like right now.
Yeah, indeed.
Thanos' chin.
Oh, I don't care for that.
Yeah.
It's like a purple scrotum,
not
Josh. I don't know if you know who Thanos is.
I do, unfortunately, and the visual right now makes me want to go hurl.
So, Spencer, you avoided my review last week, right?
Yes,
okay.
I actually still have not gotten into your spoiler review.
Okay, good.
I would have to say you got the grade right. But before we get to grades or anything like that, for those that have not seen Ant-Man, spoilers, here's the plot. Scott Lang is sucked into the quantum realm with his in-laws. Are they married? I don't know.
I think.
I don't know what their relationship
Yeah, they're
is.
married. Yes.
Like the Wasp, his in-laws, and his daughter, who's recast for some reason, because one member of the family cannot just say, "Hey, Space Hitler's down there. Maybe avoid it."
There you go.
Space Hitler.
It's actually one of the weaker Marvel villains, Space Hitler.
Well, no. So here's the thing: the Langs and the Van Dynes and Michael Douglas, I can't remember his name, Hank Pym, get sucked down to the quantum realm, where they are separated and then have to reunite, the whole while avoiding Kang the Conqueror, who needs the Pym family to use their Pym particles to bring the battery to his TARDIS back to life.
I love watching Josh as you try to explain the plot of these movies.
I know. Well, here's the thing, Josh.
Here, Spencer. Here's
You can explain,
Spencer,
all you want.
I'm gonna get more nerdy here,
no,
Josh.
I'm
sorry.
Here's what you're missing out on. Here's what appeals to Josh. It's a bear and cocaine falls on it. Cocaine bear.
Yeah. This week, baby. This week.
When you start talking about like it's the Pym family and Pym particles, they're sucked down and they're shrunk to the quantum realm, and Space Hitler's there, he's lost.
I just go to my happy place of cocaine bear.
How do their powers still work in the quantum realm? Isn't the whole point of the quantum realm that they shrunk so small that they went to the quantum realm? Therefore, why are they shrinking more when in the quantum realm? Would that put them in the sub-quantum realm?
Cocaine bear.
Why? Why?
So, Spencer,
Josh,
I'm going to answer.
More cocaine was consumed by the writer's room of this film than that bear did alone.
Because, Spencer, you're asking more questions than the writers need to. And I will say this in the movie's defense. It's a Marvel movie. They are looking to make an entertaining product. They're looking to launch.
And they failed.
They're looking to launch a new villain. And basically, Josh, this new villain, Kang, it was shown in Loki. And it's meant to be the next Thanos without the purple chin. And so what they want is to really set that up along with the charisma of Paul Rudd, which is great.
He did fantastic.
Right.
Only mildly enjoyable part of the film.
And so they want to kind of create this new adventure movie, which some fans are liking. And I would say, I don't know, there's a lot of detractors for what Marvel is now. But all they need to do is create a fun roller coaster ride. Right? Spencer, these movies are not for you or I anymore.
No. But here's the thing. And I'm going to get a little more nerdy, Josh. This film could have been the most fun and zany film to date. It could have been everything that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness promised to be. They're in the quantum realm. This is created by Jack Kirby and is supposed to be the most weird, psychedelic, out there place in the world. Kang is a dude that wears purple and green outfit with a blue face.
Yeah.
This film should have been bright, in your face, everything that was apparently in Thor Ragnarok, but not in this film.
Can you say that again for me?
It was... No, I can't. I physically can't.
Thor, Love and Thunder. Wait, it actually works. Never mind.
But this film is dark. It's hard to see. The only color they had access to apparently was the color blue and gray. And some splashes of red. Because you can't tell what's going on most of the time. I'm going to tell you first off, the things they ruined in this film were the dynamic between the ants, Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, the whole relationship between her and her whole family, the ants, Ant-Man were all ruined, but most egregious is MODOK. This is a mechanized organism designed for killing. This could have been a reoccurring character This was their opportunity. They could have had, spoilers, the cameo from Bill Murray should have been MODOK.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense than who they got.
They had Bill Murray?
Yeah, he shows up for 3 minutes in the movie to
gosh.
say,
which could have been entirely cut.
Spoiler alert, 5, 6, 7, 8, that he and Janet used to have a thing.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes away. MODOK, to describe to you, Josh, it's a former villain from the Ant-Man franchise in this universe currently.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he gets shrunk down in the previous movie, apparently.
Uh-huh.
And he's a giant head with, I mean, it's a funny concept. It looks funny, and it's meant to be weird looking, but he's very devious.
Uh-huh.
Giant head, little arms and legs that poke out of the sides.
Okay.
But here's the thing, Kent. They're in the quantum realm. They didn't need to give him a backstory.
No.
Everything
not at
there
all.
is weird.
Yes.
Everything. Now, besides all my problems with this film,
I'm just enjoying this. Go on.
Here is how they fix it. Okay, I have not told you this entirely. We know that they are actively working on the Fantastic Four films. This is the start of Marvel Phase 5. This was the perfect opportunity to make a slight tweak to the origin of the Fantastic Four and introduce that team. You have them go to the quantum realm as a team instead of space and getting hit by cosmic rays. They get hit by quantum rays and they get their powers, right? The reason that I think this works better is, one, you have them working alongside Doctor Doom to overcome Kang.
Mm-hmm.
And then Doom's inevitable betrayal, that adds weight to Doom's inevitable betrayal. The other thing is, their powers would have worked way better against this omnipotent Kang to increase his threat level than him getting, spoiler alert, beaten by ants and then a fist fight with an ex-con that worked at Baskin Robbins.
So Josh, this is how the end plays out. And once again, spoiler alert, 5, 6, 7, 8. Michael Douglas shows up on death's door, right?
Mm-hmm.
He shows up, everyone's green screen, and he goes, "Hey, by the way, everyone, I remember the ants that we used to have back at our house in our ant farm. They came to the quantum realm too, and they lived for thousands of years somehow, and they became brilliant, and now they're socialist. Watch them destroy the big bad." And then they do. They're socialist ants that destroy the bad guy.
Oh, wow. That was supposed to help my confusion, right?
Cocaine bear.
Now, that reason alone, like using the Fantastic Four's powers to defeat Kang, would have raised his threat level. Now, the last part, and the reason why I think the Fantastic Four should have been introduced here to add a good villain, because Marvel has not had a good villain in a really long time. They had Killmonger, who they killed, and they had Thanos, who they killed. And I can't think of another one that was like good.
Well, they had Loki, who became good.
Well, no, he became good, but was he a good villain? No.
I love this Spencer. It has been a while. This is like Spirit of 38 level Spencer right now. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna get worse. Okay.
Oh boy.
Because the reason why the Fantastic Four should have been the ones to introduce Kang is because Kang's identity, at least one of Kang the Conqueror, one of his identities is Nathaniel Richards. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic's father. You have a built-in Star Wars moment, and you freaking passed it up for Ant-Man to say, "I love ice cream." I don't know. What was the heart of this film?
Josh, how are you feeling right now?
Cocaine bear.
Spencer, I'm going to dispute you a little bit. Like, it sounds like you're expecting big things, and because Marvel has swung for the fences when it comes to their stories that they're using from the comics, right? But
I'm not expecting big things.
It sounds like you are.
Easy. That was an easy fix.
I mean,
that was
sure
the simplest thing they could have done.
But they didn't. And so, I mean, do you see this as a sign of things to come? Do you see them as just kind of doing a conglomeration? It's the next episode of Marvel, and they're going to use whatever they can use at the time, or whatever movie they need to promote next.
I think the problem is that, not that they're running out of ideas, they're the house of ideas. They have tons of potential. It's that they are not hiring writers that care. They're not hiring writers and letting them finish their scripts. It's very obvious if you watch this, Black Panther, whatever that abomination the Eternals were, because that film lasted an eternity, that they start filming before the scripts even started. They have a vague idea of what they want to do, and then Nothing beyond that when they start.
So this was not in the movie, but apparently in this and every other superhero movie, which is why I'm just done with the genre, they're all suffering rewrites and reshoots, right? And so the end of this movie is meant to be dark. With apparently a leak said that Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, dies at the end of this movie, being his third movie. And you saw that final fight. You thought he was going to die, but Josh, there is no stakes whatsoever. And I know he spent a long time here, but they did reshoot it to make it a little more happy.
Okay. No, they should have left him there. Like, here's the thing. I'm not even going to get into Invincible, which is another comic series, which is incredible, which did the same exact story, but better.
Oh, wait a second. I think you forced me to watch a little bit of that.
Forced him to watch it.
I did.
It was the pandemic, actually. So
yeah.
I pretty much watched anything I could get my hands on.
At the end of this film, Scott Lang is staying behind to get in his bar fight with Kang because Kang can't escape through the portal the rest of the Pims used to get home because they magically fixed it at the last minute. Right before the portal's supposed to shut, Janet Van Dyne walks through and helps him beat Kang because reasons. It's because it's Ant-Man and the Wasp and she hasn't done anything in this film besides complain to this point.
Yeah, it's true.
The portal, they beat Kang. He gets dragged off by the ants, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's Spencer. You're overthinking it.
I honestly don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, the portal closes and Janet and Scott are stuck in the quantum realm for 30 seconds. Like 30 seconds. That's it. Then they reopen the portal and they're gone. This film could have been so much better. One, they kill Scott. Or two, they let them live there for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Like let them help rebuild the area and then come back.
Josh, you did this. You brought him back to this horrible memory.
I did. I apologize.
Hey guys, I want to keep going, but I'm literally bleeding from the mouth. And it's not from the tongue. It is from how mad I am.
So Spencer, your final grade is?
It's better than Love and Thunder, so D.
Okay. That's accurate. Yeah, it's a D. I'm very sorry that you will not be able to come to the movie that Josh and I will be seeing, which hopefully
Cocaine Bear
will be much better.
Cocaine Bear.
I would ask to see Aquaman 2 with you, but apparently that one sucks.
No, it's
really,
the future is not looking great. Before we go, Spencer, I do want to thank you for your sacrifice. You've even you appearing on this show, like it means a lot because I seriously was like, Josh, you and I may just have to do this because you were legit injured. That picture was gross, but you even showing up is a cool gesture. And honestly, it's provided some not good, but some good laughs.
Well, I was thinking about skipping and going to Disneyland. So,
all right, Josh. So with that, take us on out.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to The Other Show. Before we wrap things up, just to remind you, right now until the 26th, we have a 20% off everything in the Other store. So that is basic merch. We have some episode-specific merch, some I Listen to 2 podcasts shirts out there as well, Disneyland-themed shirts, just a lot of fun stuff. So go make sure to check out the Other store. You can check that out at theother.show/store.
Love it.
Also, guys, we want to make sure that we connect with you. You can follow The Other Show along with each of us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and give or take a few of those for Spencer as well.
Pony Express works for me.
There you go. Additionally, whatever platform you listen to The Other Show on, please make sure to hit and subscribe whatever platform you're listening to. We may be seasoned podcasters, but this is still a fairly new podcast. So when you hit that subscribe button, you're helping others find The Other Show as well. And also, guys, if you feel so inclined, please leave us a review because we may even read some of those reviews on the air.
Perfect.
The good, the bad, and even the ugly ones. And of course, guys, if leaving and writing a review is not enough, you can always call my voicemail and leave us a message. Leave us a question, a comment, a compliment, a complaint, or even ask us for recommendations. We've been getting quite a few of those the past couple of weeks. So all you have to do is just give us a call. The telephone number for that is 801-508-4989. And remember, you can always listen to me on my other show, The Party in the Back.
You can hear me on my other show, Bacon Cell.
And you can hear me on my other show,